Hey, folks, welcome to Affiliate Nerd Out. I am your nerderator, Dustin House. Spreading that good word about affiliate marketing. You're going to find me here every Thursday at 12:15 Pacific time, so put it on the calendar. Join me and my guest today, James Bannerman, head of global sales over at the Reward Collection. Welcome to the Nerdatorium, sir.
Thank you very much. It's an absolute pleasure to be here. It's great to see you again as well. We've got some, we had one night in Miami, didn't we? So we're dining out on that. So it's a pleasure to be here.
Well, that's how these things happen in this industry. You run into somebody that you click with and you have fun with, and you see what you can do business wise, and hopefully it all works out. But even if it doesn't today, you'll be a friend for years going forward, and that's what I love about this industry and going to
Absolutely,
conferences.
absolutely. Yeah, I know you said it before as well. It's a big thing for me as well. Just at best we get some business done. At worst, you've got to be a partner when you meet up next, and that's so true from since Miami. What 2 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago? It's a great industry to be involved in. There's a lot of working and a lot of playing too.
Oh, it sure is. You and I had a night out hanging out with Everflow and some other folks at PI Live, and then you and I had a meeting in the morning and talked business, and that's what it's all about. And you make your friends at night. You do your business during the day. There's no business talk during um, steak and drinks, but
Definitely not. Definitely. Yeah, it was a lot. Yeah, we were both grinning. It was wild within the realms of decency, but it was cool. Just some big personalities there, weren't there? Some great entertainment, good food, and there wasn't a lot. Well, none, no work discussed. It was just tattoos and good food and some city impressions and stuff as well. Some big personalities. It was an absolute pleasure to be a part of.
yeah, absolutely. All right. If you'd like to be in James's seat, come to dustinhouse.com/nerd and drop in a topic you'd like to nerd out about. But while I have you here, James, who are you?
That's a very open question. I am a father. I'm addicted to sales. Convincing people to do stuff they've never heard about sometimes, hence why we're here. Father of three, big sports fan, big soccer fan, as you guys call it. Not today though, having England just been knocked out of the final of the Euros last night.
Condolences. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's still a bit sore, but ambitious, happy, a good sense of humor. I think is my shield and my sword all in one. I think in not taking things too seriously in both work and play. And just I don't know. I'd like to think on my headstone it'd say something about being a decent person as well, but depends who you ask.
Well, we can always keep working on that. And I feel the same way. I like how you opened with being a father. Like, work doesn't define you, it is
No.
the person you are. And, this is a means to an end, like providing for your family, and work is there to like provide for them. I love that sentiment.
Yeah.
Um, Also, you're addicted to sales. I like to say that I have a content creation addiction myself. So,
Yeah.
hence why we're here today.
Absolutely, yeah. I think of course, there's all the means to an end. We're all doing it. I think as well with my team, you got to understand the people are people as well. What drives them, what their motivation is, I suppose. And of course, that's usually family. We go to work to be able to afford to buy things that we want to buy and spend time with people we want to spend with. But if you can get that, it's very romantic. If you can get something, they say, obviously something you enjoy, you never actually work a day in your life. And some of that's true, I think. You get something, and it took me 40 odd years to work out what I want to be when I grow up. I've still not grown up, but I'm now employed in something and do something that I'm passionate about, love, really enjoy as well. So if you can get a mixture between the two, I think it does help the soul, shall we say.
That's a great sentiment. All right. So while we talk about like you and your team, can you tell us a little bit more about who you are, the reward collection itself? What do you guys do, and who are you serving out there?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So we are basically the biggest broker, you guys would call it. We would call it an aggregator. So the biggest broker of card linked and open banking offers in the world. So we started off very humbly in the UK. And what we were doing, we were basically trying to increase and uplift sales for local sites. So your regular store, or it might be a hairdresser's, it might have been a takeaway or an F&B, a pub, for example. Trying to get them advertised and encourage people by incentivizing them with a cashback to go and spend in a venue.
Okay.
That became, we were very successful at that. And then we basically decided we wanted to grow. So we were going in for national chains, all the big badges we all know in terms of, a Costa Coffee or a Starbucks or, a Wendy's or, Subway, etc. So we went did very well in the national side of stuff, and then we realised that you guys across the pond are up for a bit of this as well. So probably about 18 months ago, I was asked to set up a team in the US and go and spread the good word, like you say, go and spread the good word on card linking, and obviously dipped its toe into affiliate marketing as well. So now we're the biggest. We've got around between 700 and 800 merchants or brands that we
Yeah.
push, and that's from the smaller ones, single sites, right up to multi-billion-dollar brands actually. And what we do is we basically put those brands in front of closed user groups, usually banks in the States. So if you're a Bank of America customer, for example, you'll have an app, a loyalty app. Within that app, you'll see some of the merchants that we've put on. And they incentivize you to get some cash back by shopping with them. So that's really what the reward collection does. It's what we do on a global scale. We've got probably a global reach of over 400 million now, including India, the States, some of Europe, the UK. So a massive potential reach, which is great to be able to sell on that basis. So and probably about 230, 240 million in the US alone. So huge reach of some of the biggest, publishers, we would call them. It's a bit different in the affiliate space, but or banks. Just it's been success after success. It's great, and everyone always blows their own trumpet, but it's been, and that's why you're here to sell the point. But it's been an incredible journey for the business, for me as well. I've been here about 3 years next month, so climbed up sort of 2 or 3 different promotions, I suppose, or movements within the business to help drive it forward. And it's great fun speaking to some of the biggest players in the game and getting them to agree to give some of their hard-earned money away to some of the customers to, in terms of loyalty, bringing in new customers, targeting lapsed customers they've already bought before but are not buying with them now, bringing those in. So there's probably 3 or 4 arms to what we do and why we do it, really. I think that's a good top-line view of where we're at.
Gotcha. Yeah, and you and I started talking about working with one of my clients and bringing you on board, and would love to hear more about, like, when you do work with clients, what are you looking to do to onboard them? And one thing I found, like, really interesting in a world of, like, working with big publications with that kind of a big of a reach, almost always there's some kind of integration fee that is involved with it, and it can be really annoying from an affiliate manager perspective. But one of your, like, key selling points is you don't have one when you're working with brands.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it costs nothing. So what we do is we work on a top line cashback basis. So whatever that company can offer in terms of cashback. So say we then work backwards from that. So it's roughly a third. So the customer will roughly get a third. Each publisher is a bit differently, so it's hard to actually nail it in binary. But roughly a third for the customer, roughly a third for the publisher, the bank, and then we take a third, or sometimes even a little bit less than that. So that is the only cost at all. There's no onboarding fees, no offboarding fees, no integration fees. There's no heavy lifting or integration needed at all. the way that we track is via MIDs, merchant IDs. So it's basically an ISP for your selling platform. That might be Shopify, it might be Klarna, it might be PayPal or Stripe, for example. You'll have an ID, a set of numbers, not massively private. We track that from that brand on that website, or even in stores. Another a big part of what we do. We can do offline as well. So omni-channels are fantastic, and something obviously the affiliate world can't necessarily do because it's all driven, or mainly driven online. So so it's zero cost. The only cost comes if we sell for them. So if we put a brand in front of X amount of people with the right demographic, the right audience, a good fit, they would just get some free advertising if they never sold anything. Only when they sell do we then invoice them for the cash back that we've agreed, and then we chop that up behind that. So we do all the heavy lifting. So no, it's a great way to be able to push and pitch to people, because it costs nothing. It's risk free. It's completely risk free, and
Right.
it's cost free unless we sell. So it's purely performance based.
Sure. And the clients that you're working with, the brands, you mentioned you have like 300 plus at this point. Is this all rev share based? Can you work with a CPA if you're working with you?
Yeah, so it's probably near 700 or 800 probably globally now. We've got
Okay.
a big portfolio. Some form better than the others as well, but it's purely rev share. That is how we work.
Okay.
We can target the banks, the publishers that we work with can target brand new customers. So what they can do is they can look at that customer who's already opted in into their bank account, say yes. That's the open banking side as opposed to the card linking. So basically, they can a brand can or a bank can see if they've bought from that brand before. They can see historically, what does Dustin buy traditionally? What's that 360 view?
Yeah.
Does he buy his shopping here? Does he buy a lot of fashion? Clearly, does he buy a lot of hair products? Is he always buying in Walmart? Whatever it is, you get that 360 view.
Yes. Yes.
And it means that they can target people in certain verticals. So if they know that people spend a lot on travel, they can go and target those people and offer them travel brands and a certain cashback percentage there, which is fabulous. And with that as well, they know if they've shopped for them previously in the last 3, 6, 12 months. So they haven't shopped with them before, they can offer them a brand new customer offer. They know that bank account, that person has not shopped with them before. So it's very, very advantageous to get in new customers. And with that as well, they can see if they've shopped with them 2 years ago, but haven't in the last 6, 12 months. That was we would deem as a lapsed customer. Get them back, offer them something, a nice handsome cash back, pull them back in, get them to buy from the brand, get them to stick. And that's why we have an ongoing, what we call an evergreen offer. So a continuing cash back. If you keep buying that said brand, you keep buying it, you've pulled across from Adidas, you're buying now at Nike, to stay with Nike, they'll offer you a continue. Every time you buy, you get a cash back from them as a thank you. So it's a loyalty piece. I mean, the strap line, if you want to sound too salesy, is attract, reward, retain, and that retention piece is huge, and it's all retrospective as well. So they pay full price on the front end, they buy it as they normally would, and then obviously that transaction's tracked from bank account and the merchant ID, handshake, payments made, and then usually around 30 days the customer will get their cash back either back into their bank, or if they've got a point system, it will go back into that as well. Like Avios, British Airways, for example, you'll get Avios points like air miles and things. Some other publishers will do a sort of a point system or reward system as well. But the majority, it comes in hard cash straight into your bank. So
Gotcha.
encourage you to go back and keep it within their ecosystem as well. So lots of unique selling points, and there's lots of tools in the toolbox. But and it's just finding out what brands want. Do they want new customers? Do they want lapsed? Do they want to keep them? How much can they offer the customer? Because it's very important we incentivize obviously the offer, right? So the customer's got to get a good offer. Otherwise, if they're getting 1% on one wet Wednesday once a year, it's not going to make any difference. It's not going to move the needle. So the higher we can get it, the better. And obviously that's really important. And of course, incentivizing the publishers as well, the banks, for them to put on the front page, or to do a welcome mail shot or a newsletter and feature and what have you as well, is very important. So they make a little bit from it, and they get a really good brand to push to their customers is why
Sure.
you would bank with Citibank over Bank of America. Amex do it great, right? You don't get an Amex card because you want to pay the 300,000% APR on everything you buy. You do it because they've got a great load of deals in there and they have some of the best cashbacks
Yes.
brands in the world. So it's a very unique selling point and one that obviously works very well. So it's a similar model to what we do.
Great. And we brought up the topic of the day, and that is card linking and open banking. And for those folks that aren't familiar with this space, can you give us a basic understanding of what these are? What is card linking?
Of course, yeah. So I touched on it briefly then. So it's when basically on a customer of a loyalty platform, like I say, it's usually a bank. It could be an employee benefit platform, something that your employer has set up, and you get certain perks and benefits by going via a certain portal. You'll get a little bit of money off, or you'll get rewarded for it. So when a customer, so we use the bank analogy for ease. They'll tie their bank. Well, let's do the card linking. So if it's an employee benefit platform, they will actively link their bank card, one or two or three of their bank cards that they use daily. They'll link that to the employee benefit platform. Mm-hmm. So effectively saying, yes, track those card payments from that card at any of them, that employee benefits merchants, their preferred partners. So they go down, you look into that portal. Usually it will say we're working with McDonald's, they're offering 10%. I mean, it'd be nice, wouldn't it? But they're offering 10% cash back. So when you use that card, that particular card at McDonald's, any of the stores, or obviously online if there's a delivery option, then that will create a handshake. Is there money in the account? Yes. That then is the stamp of data that we collect. That's card linking, linked cards buying at preferred merchants, and we track all that data and then we feed that back into the business in terms of proof, really, or where those transactions came from. It's all verified by a Visa, MasterCard, or Amex as well. So nothing goes out of the lane. It's those three only. So they're all verified via them. So they're cast iron sales. And then the difference really within open banking is a bank. So you guys over there, obviously Citibank, Bank of America, two big ones we work with. Citibank customer, you go and look in your loyalty app. You'll have an app there. You can go in all these different verticals in fashion, in entertainment, in travel, shopping, whatever that may be. And you'll see all the big brands. And what you do is the customer then enrolls and says, yes, I sell my soul to the devil, tick. I get the biggest brands, but you get to see exactly what I shop, when I shop, how often I shop, how much I spend, where I spend it, and at what time. I haven't done that because I think it's a little intrusive, and I don't want people knowing what I'm buying when I'm buying it for a few different reasons. I find I want to keep stuff personal. Not that I'm doing anything untoward, obviously, but obviously that's what you do. You sell your soul to the devil a little bit. Like I say, the bank says, yep, you can track it, everything, and go and look at it, and that means you can be targeted. Like I said, you can be targeted where you've shopped before and what have you. So the difference is you've got a linked card buying from a merchant. Open banking means you have a 360 holistic view of the bank has of, and merchants are able to target because they can see those entire spending habits of those customers. So it means you can be a lot more laser focused in the brands, and you can even offer competitive brands. So if you're a Nike, for example, you want to know if they're buying at Adidas, you want to try and get a new customer. But what's better than a new customer is a new customer of a competitor. Pull them across, show them why Adidas is better, then keep them there as well. So open banking, there's a lot more to it. It's a lot more intrusive in terms of what the banks can see. But obviously, I was joking before. I do open bank. I've got like a Revolut. We work with Revolut, for example, so they can see everything that I buy. I obviously haven't got anything to hide, so they can see what I buy. And it's like on Facebook, right? On social media, you're going to get adverts, so you might as well get the ones that are relevant to you. So the stuff that I get pushed through are all relevant to me and what I buy: sports stuff, soccer stuff, and flowers for this and all those lovely things as well. So
you got to feel pretty,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got to have it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I have a little rose here behind my ear when we first had that. But I put it down because don't want to be too playful. So it's they're the two differences really between card linking and open banking. Similar, very 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 similar. Mechanics, but the open banking one's the one that's more relevant to us because it's probably 95% of the partners we have in the States. In the UK, it's a bit different. We have a lot more employee benefit platforms, so it's more card linking. But of course, you can offer brands a lot more tools out of that toolbox, and depending on what they want as well, which is really quite nice. You tend to find we can do something that they'll be wanting to achieve from their campaigns for whatever reason. They're wanting to acquire new customers, keep old ones,
for whatever
etc.
reason. Yeah. And it's all about, what level of Big Brother watching do you want to be released? For
Yeah,
me, I'm a consumer. I want to be targeted with marketing campaigns that are relevant to the things I'm buying and then that I'm interested in.
of course.
And I think generally the society is moving towards that and being more comfortable with and accepting that. Um, in general, I would say 5-10 years ago, people were very scared of this, but
Yeah,
the tactics you guys are doing and connecting people with products that they're going to be interested seems like a really good situation for the way we shop today.
absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And it, like we said, right, you're going to get adverts and you're going to get pushed to. I genuinely would rather, get those ones that are relevant and genuinely looking to buy. Everyone's very, very different. Some people will look for cash back because they're looking for loyalty. Some are doing it because they want to save money. Some are doing it because they're quite fancy. They'll be looking to choose between brand A and brand B. If you get an offer at brand B, you're going to go with brand B if it's a 50-50 as well. So, no, definitely. And I'm sort of joking about selling your soul to the devil, but people being able to see into what, what you're purchasing just makes it a lot more measured and lays it in, particularly for merchants. If they can, go to the right genre rather than just shouting it out of your window, does anyone want to buy some sneakers? It's not going to. You're going into people that will buy footwear, will buy sportswear, or buy in those verticals as well. So you're targeting the right audience, and that's kind of what we're about, really. Each publisher has a different demographic, and each merchant wants to target different demographics as well. So we really are just finding out what the brand wants and plugging them into whichever publisher suits them, really. Some just want to go as many as possible. We'll have the 250 million reach. We don't care who they are. Some want to be very, very, very measured and tailored
Sure.
and a bit more bespoke about what they're offering and who they're offering it to and what the amount is as well. So, each brand's very, very different, and it ranges in terms of size, really, and what
Yeah.
their focus is. Yeah.
And as you talk about the size of the company and who you're working with, it sounds like this would be really good in the health and wellness space. But are there any particular niches that you guys work with? Obviously, they have to be on a rev share affiliate program, but like, what kind of verticals are you guys really killing it with?
Yeah, there's probably a top five. So there's four in my team that work. There's me and obviously four others that work in the global. So work US really is the main focus because it's quite a big
Okay.
place. And we all have, the guys have five verticals each, and I tend to have, I sort of, move in the shadows. I just sort of paper in the cracks, whatever they're not working on, and some of the bigger ones. And I get brands coming to me now. I'm really fortunate in that respect, and buy products of the affiliates where we met in Miami and stuff.
Mhm.
But no, the serial, anything offline with card linking, and I know it's a bit of a funny one because affiliate, it's all driven online. We can do both. We can do either or we can do both.
Hmm.
So there's a couple of very, very large, we're talking multiple thousands of stores that we're speaking to, a big brand over there in the States, and they want to drive traffic into store. They have solutions online, which will be, some of the people that we speak to, some of the amazing people in the affiliate world doing various different things, including, in yourself and what have you. So they want to drive people in store, which is fantastic. So anything offline is a big one. Health and wellness is massive. We did a campaign with iHerb a little while ago, and it just absolutely smashed out the park. It was doing crazy numbers, and everyone was really happy with the retention and what have you as well. It was a really successful campaign. I'll put that in health and wellness. Beauty, fashion, always do really, really well. Construction, baby and pets is quite a nice one. One of my guys, Ryan, works on those two verticals, and we're looking like we're going to be bringing probably the biggest pet brand on in the world as well. So people love their pets. The amount of money they'll spend on their dogs and cats, particularly over here, we treat them better than we treat the humans, right? So there's a lot of big business in there for them. And then the entertainment, hotel, days out, travel, entertainment works really well with B2B. So I've just brought on the guys with Flex offers. We've brought on iFly. So it's the wind tunnels, it's the skydiving inside skydiving wind tunnels, which are great experience. I think it's about 35 that we're working with. I think it's about 42 in the States. Always does so well with the consumer because people want to make memories and they want experiences, but also the B2B side. So it might be a team building exercise. It might be a staff night out or a day out or anything like that as well. We see a lot of large transactions going on business account cards. So we push that to one of our sister companies, like Lux Rewards. A lot of the guys and people that may be listening to this will know them guys as well. They're amazing. We love James and Tom and the gang down there. But a really good fit. They're business cards, small, medium enterprises, card holders that are looking for either a cost-saving exercise to get some cash back from brands, or they'll just use that to buy. It might be travel, it might be an airline, it might be a day out. But that entertainment vertical does really, really well as well. So there's probably about 5 or 6 in there that are serial performers in the card link and open banking space. And then we have others as well, obviously, in there with appliances, education. We have software, partner stack. Those guys are great. They're more SaaS products, great fit for B2B. Speaking to the guys there as well, another really, really good company that are happy to almost pitch the card linking side of stuff rather than traditional affiliate model as well. And that's that the SaaS products really are performing fantastically as well because the right audience, Dustin. Really, it's the B2B model. People with businesses and cards are looking to get. We did a very successful campaign with Canva. You can imagine business cards, Canva. I mean, some VPNs as well, some very famous VPNs. Just do fantastically well because it's the right fit. So it's not just having the audience; it's having the right audience for the right product.
I hear you. Awesome. All right, let's take a break and thank our sponsor of the day, and that is my friends over at Inflection. This is the only platform with personalized funnels to scale partnership marketing for brands, agencies, influencers, and affiliates out there. Catering to that health and wellness space, this tracking solution is going to help build landing pages for partners in a matter of minutes instead of weeks. I am personally recruiting partners for this brands that are working with us. So if you are a brand or agency, come check out a demo. If you're an affiliate, come talk to me and come join some of my programs that I'm promoting on the platform. Go to dustinhouse.com/inflection. That's inflection with a K for more information. All right. And getting back into it, let's talk about that connection in the space between CLO and affiliates. How are you guys bridging this gap between the two industries?
Yeah, it's been a tough one, really, because I said to you sort of off air that it was maybe I'll use the expression, maybe the black sheep of the family or the bad smell in the room. I think what I did say, if we're having it right and being honest. But it was more to do with the fact that obviously they work in such different ways. And I think when I come into the job previously, it was something that I identified quite quickly and spoke to the guys at the top to say, look, we need to work with networks and affiliate, and obviously affiliate windows. AWIN was a big one in there to do as well. But of course, the big blocker is that we track, as I said before, we track, or the publishers we work with track via the MIDs, the merchant IDs, that number that sits behind their payment portal. That's how we track. And of course, being completely transparent, we can't, no CLO provider, nobody in the world can do it. And if they can, and when they do, we'll have it first. But they can't track in real time via a dashboard. You guys, I mean, there's a plethora of different solutions in terms of how affiliates are tracking, obviously, performance, whether that be a pay-per-call, whether it be a pay-per-click, whether it be a true cost per acquisition to acquire that, who's the last one. And we don't do that. So we collect the data effectively, probably in about every 2 weeks. We collect all the data from all the publishers, and then we report back into the business every 30 days. So it's sort of a retrospective look at what's already happened. So you don't have that real-time view on it and seeing what's working and what's doing this and what have you instantly. So it's been a real tricky to bridge that gap. And now when I was out in Miami at PI Live, the guys there, particularly, there's 2 or 3 companies that we spoke to. We broke some bread, we drank some beer and ate some food and discussed it a little bit more intricately, really. And it fell on warm ears. And the guys at Flex Offers, give them a shout out, actually, Flex Offers, Everflow. The guys there were like, okay, that's not traditionally how it works, but they're not going to say no. Let's make it work. So had various conversations then and since then to try and bridge that gap. And what we found is that actual bridge is effectively we can build via a lot of these networks. So it can still run through the channel. Impact's a big one. We've been working for Impact for years. Everyone knows Reddish. Yeah, everyone knows Impact. So
yeah,
we get the data, we send it to usually the contact of the merchant. The merchant will upload it, batch upload it. Now Impact have got their own sort of tools for CLO in there. In the back end of the dashboards and what have you, so it can be inputted in, bonused off, so it does end up in reporting. So you can get a CLO report, and then you'll get all the other the traditional affiliate routes in terms of who they're working with and what have you as well. So we've sort of joined the in one centralized place. And Impact have been fantastic doing that. One of the earliest ones to do that. We're now working on a solution with that with the guys at Everflow. I'm working quite closely with Danny, who's great to get that done. Flex know all about it. John and Kenny over at Flex, particularly John, knows the space well, really open to they dealing with it. So we'll get the brands on, we know all the unique selling points, we'll send them the data, and they'll work it out their end to the data that we give them to fit with their network as well. So it can run through those networks. It can run through alongside the traditional affiliate channels within that dashboard, which seems to be identified it quite early as the big sort of elephant in the room in terms of it being another resource, dealing with another company, another invoice, another busy people, successful brands don't have time. It's usually time or money, right? So they don't have the time, so they'll spend the money on the commissions and what have you. So obviously there's nothing on top. It's just that commission or cashback rate. And particularly those three, and there's more coming to me, a lot more as well. And there's a lot more softening towards, I think, CardLink and Open Bank, and that we can rub alongside, and not just rub alongside because you'll get me knocking down your door and trying to laugh you into bed, so to speak, and get you to do things that you're not quite sure because it's CLO and it's whatever. But actually bringing something to the party, adding some real substantial value. The reach we know is there. We've got the connections in terms of the demographics, the risk-free, fee-free, just the cashback rates in there as well. Obviously, highly advantageous, and we can get into some very affluent publishers as well. So we are bringing a lot to the party, and that's obviously pricks people's ears up. And these are all closed user groups, Dustin, as well. So it's not open out. You've got your Groupons, you've got your point of sale discounts, all that's been pretty much covered. You've got your affiliate network. We know that world. You know it far better than me, but I now dip my toe into that world and know that as well. And then, of course, you've got ourselves in there as well with the closed user groups, the thanking, the retrospective thank you of some financial commercials, rather than trying to drag all and sundry for a cheap discount and not retaining that customer. That's not how we work. So. Yeah, it's very much, very much how we roll, and like I say, these bridges are being built, and the attitude, I think, I might be wrong, I might get told I'm wrong, but the attitude, I think, is softening towards having a conversation. How can we work? Because we're adding some real value as well. It's not just the guy from across the pond shouting and making a lot of noise. It's actually bringing something to the party and adding some real value to these merchants and networks as well, in terms of how we can work with affiliate managers and alongside nicely and add real value to their proposition as well, I think.
Yeah, and that brings up a good point. What is something like an affiliate manager that wants to work with you? You're going to make them look good. How do they convince executives to sign? You guys have individual contracts to work with them within the affiliate platform. What's a good thing that affiliate managers can use as a selling point to why you guys have incremental value?
Yeah, absolutely. That's my job, really. So whenever they reach out or I speak to them, I'll fire them across. We've got various sales decks. We've got facts and figures, case studies, what partners can and can't do, because a brand might want to do a first-time offer. They might want to do what's called a click to activate. So they might only want to, like Amex, that you have to activate the offer to then negates double dipping, so paying twice out on something. We'll send all that information across as well. The attribution piece as well. So best practices in terms of attribution, what data we will provide the brand as sort of proof or validation as to where that sale came from. They're all pre-validated. They're all watertight, but the amount we give them. So there's sort of maybe 4 or 5 bits of information that we would give an affiliate manager to do it on our behalf. But ideally, we'd speak to them ourselves. So I'm working with probably 15 agencies at the minute that are obviously briefed, like you said, to make them look good. And we can definitely do that. So it's getting that information across to them, but ideally getting whoever needs to be the decision maker, whoever on the call. So they've any questions they've got, any reservations they may have as well, that we can put those at ease and tell them exactly how we work and what we're going to bring. So it's not just getting to somebody to champion on your behalf, because they'll never do the job as well as we do, because that's what I'm paid to do. So a bit of a double team really. They bring it to the table. You don't want it poo-pooed and dismissed quickly. You want to get in front of them and let them know. But I think a lot of it as well, they say 2 ears, 1 mouth, using that order. I use them in reverse. I use my mouth a bit more than my ears. But they say obviously you want to listen to a brand of what they want, what their challenges are, what affiliate, cookies and deep links and that. It's not bulletproof because you can refresh and there's ways you can get around it. Of course, it's a real challenge. Same as us. It's not bulletproof, but it's how we can be adding something different to what solutions they've already got. And I think that's a real, unique selling point for us as well. To get in front of the right people is obviously important, but to listen to what their challenges are, what they're after. They're desperate. They've got all these things in place that work well. They're desperate to pull back customers they've already paid for years ago. We can solve that. They're desperate to keep them. Subscriptions, they try it out, they get a big discount, and they move on to another brand where they're doing another discount. I call them discount something beginning with WH, but I won't say it on here. But they move around and they just want money off. Whereas this promotes a different message. Bigger brands, you're thanking somebody for their loyalty. So it's getting them, the affiliate managers, the agencies, with enough ammunition and getting them stoked up, pushing enough passion on them as well about what we can bring to the table, and hoping they'll push that on, but also getting that person that will make a decision to the table as well, and having a conversation like this and listening to what their challenges are and providing them a solution for that challenge.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess my biggest thing would be like your potential reach of new potential customers and like the subscribers, or however you want to describe them, is really far and reaching. So really good opportunity to test some things out as an affiliate manager and work with you guys. So all right, time for you to defend your post, sir. Really appreciate what you've done today and learning us up about card linking. I saw this on your LinkedIn, and PI Live gave you the best networking award. I don't know if this is an official award. I was a little disappointed that I didn't win this year or get nominated for that matter. But I made this very at the end of this post. I saw you almost got my name right, trying to tag me, and I thought it was hilarious. I don't know. He just kind of like drug on at the end there, but.
It's got Dustin.
You got close. But yeah, congratulations on your win this year. You better live it up, because I'm going to take it away from you next year. I'll tell you that right now.
It's very funny that I don't know what it changed. I think going between phone and PC, I think it did all the funny stuff for the people I tagged into it. But I think I got there in the end. You made it. I got a lot of disgruntled people that didn't get a mention that thought they got, and I didn't realise it even mattered that much. But it would straight really weird. I think I don't think it's an official. I've not received any sort of trophy. I've not given any sort of speech. I've got no financial reward out of it. So PI, if you're listening, I'll take some free tickets for the event in London in October as a prize. But no, I don't know nothing about it. I think what they meant is who's shouted the loudest.
Yeah.
Who's gone and annoyed the most people, and who's just tagged everybody in stuff and just spread themselves around with their big, loud British mouth. I think that's the undertone of what that means. But no, nevertheless, it was really sweet. It was cool because realistically, we all know it's Paresh, right? You know, he wears
Every year,
every year. You know,
undefeated champion. Absolutely.
what I mean. I was getting meetings and planning things where he was because he said, "You know, the guy in the orange and the hat," and they're like Paresh. I'm like, "Oh, you know it? Yeah, everyone knows him. Everyone. He's just, you know, what I mean, it'd be boring every year. He would get the best network. He's a great guy, doing some great stuff. We work with Gen 3 on quite a few accounts, and the team there, we're about to bring on a very, watch this space, a very big brand with those. It's looking very close as well. So, yeah, I don't know. It's all fun again. It was lovely. It was good to have a little show off about it, but I didn't know it was there. If it had been there, I might have tried a bit harder as well. And try, like I say, or at least build them for some sort of prize.
I mean, it really should be an official reward with a piece of hardware, and I would proudly present it in the back of my background every single episode moving forward. But
Absolutely, yeah, I could put it just by my pool here, just by the pool.
by your pool, yeah, okay.
My pool, I'd have it just in the corner down there, and I'd just show it off, and every call I'm on going best networker, best something else begin with BS. I think is really what they were saying, but yeah, but no, I'm glad you dragged that out. I thought you were going to defend something. I thought, oh no, what have I said? What have I said? But it's yeah, it's a good positive thing.
No, all in fun, man. I'm disappointed I didn't win. That's all. I'm just jealous here. All right.
No, next year.
Next year, I'm gonna have it, locking it in. All right, James, how do we connect with you, bud?
Oh, however we want. I'm not sure. I can give my phone number out. Can we not get a little thing across here with Bannerman's phone number? Maybe not. That might be a bit dangerous. Of course, LinkedIn, socials. LinkedIn's a really good one, or an email. James at therewardcollection.com will come straight to me, and I can move in and distribute if it's something in somebody else's vertical. One of my team want to call, and obviously myself as well. But obviously, yeah, LinkedIn. I don't know. We can put a link on there somewhere, but just James Bannerman on LinkedIn. Yeah, the one with the loud voice. You'll probably hear me before you even see me, I think. But yeah, it's that they're the best ways. An inbox, a connection. It's great to connect and speak to all different people. You know, in all different markets as well. It might be a brand. It might be and obviously just sharing as well. There might be somebody I can help somebody else as well. If you can help a brand or somebody else, whatever they're doing, and vice versa. Very much believe it's. You know, it's and they've proven it in the affiliate world as well. Mm-hmm. Considering you think it'd be a bit dog eat dog, and they're all competitors and what have you. There's a real synergy to listen to what other people are doing, learn from it, implement it, and people aren't stepping on people. It didn't seem this from the outset anyway. Stepping on people's heads to get further ahead, which I thought was great, and it suits my ethos as well. You know, joking aside, it's a competitive world, and anything we can do to help each other genuinely is great as well. And I genuinely believe that we can do that with card linking as well. So LinkedIn, email, cell phone, carrier pigeon, boat. You'll find me somewhere if you want to get hold of me, I'm sure.
Oh, James, you're a character. Absolutely love it. Looking forward to working with you more in the future. Thanks for joining me on Affiliate Nerd Out today, bud.
It's been a good nerd out. It's been an absolute pleasure. You're an absolute star. Love you to bits. You know I do. And yeah, definitely going to get something moving forward as well. And anything we can do, we'll any excuse to chat about tattoos and drink a beer. So hopefully we've already discussed it. Hopefully that will come up at some point this year, won't it?
Fantastic. All right, folks. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you out there. Keep on recruiting. Take care.
Take care, buddy.